Are we live? Oh, we're live. We're back.
Yay!
Master Toons podcast.
Like
Rising up from the ground.
some technical difficulties.
Yeah, we have some technical difficulties.
Yes, you still having some.
Anyway, let's get on with it because it's getting quite late. I've got school, uni in the morning. Everyone else has stuff.
Yeah.
So let's get crack-a-lacking. All right. So movie of the week.
Oh boy.
So following our month of shituary, I believe this was Proto's fault. Proto picked a movie. Just saying it is like, why would I watch that? It's that kind of name. Scooby-Doo,
Wrestlemania Mystery.
Just say that to yourself. Scooby-Doo, Wrestlemania Mystery.
Wrestlemania Mystery.
It just rolls off the tongue like a thing of beauty.
It rolls off the tongue like a ball of crap in your mouth.
See, now, Jack, the nice thing about the control room is I can just go through and mute George because he's
A pussy?
He's crying.
Wow, details.
Alright, so some background on this this movie. Scooby-Doo, WrestleMania Mystery, a direct-to-DVD video cassette Scooby-Doo film. It's a co-production between Warner Bros. Animation and WWE Studios, featuring the characters from our beloved series Scooby-Doo and WrestleMania wrestlers such as John Cena, Triple H, Kane, and many more that you might remember from when you were 10.
True.
Together they have to solve a mystery of
a...
WWE City. By the way, is that an actual thing? WWE City
If it actually existed,
doesn't exist.
I would actually have to hang myself if I found out that it actually existed.
It doesn't, thank you.
Thank
That'd be
fucking
weird.
Christ.
There is a lot of
Don't shit on my dreams.
with fun jokes and funny scenarios and goofy moments, including a moment where Shaggy and Scooby have to fight as part of the mystery.
Don't fucking get me started on that.
So, to start, we'll go into the film very shortly, but we'll just do a round of 5 words or less of what did you think of it. George, you can go first since you're being mouthy gobby.
Please shoot me now.
Oh, sorry. Guns aren't legal here in Britain. I need like a special permit or something, so can't help you out.
£50 for your license.
Or whatever.
Yeah. David?
Enjoyable wrestling romp.
Nice alliteration.
Nearly spat fucking water on my laptop. From Proto?
An insult to both fans of wrestling and animation.
I'm just thinking about the fucking wrestling and Scooby-Doo. Ryoga.
He's out.
He's out? Okay.
I hate WWE. Period.
What?
You hate it.
Ryoga, are you in on this one?
Not the
No, he's fucking out.
Yeah, I'm in.
Well, there you go, Proto. You know, Proto, I didn't realize your real name was Ryoga, buddy.
It's what he said. What the fuck I had to do with just quoting him?
No.
Carson, did you watch it?
The reason I'm staying here is because of what we discussed.
Carson, did you watch it?
No, I was busy.
So you get to hear
You got
us bitch about it. Do you want my 5 words?
Yeah.
I love your 5 words.
Wrestling isn't fucking real, idiots. like, before we get, because we usually break it down to like plot, voice acting, animation, so on and so forth. But my number one biggest problem is are Scabby, Scabby, Shaggy and Scoob, are they actually retarded and think wrestling is real at their
Yes,
age?
because most Americans do.
I don't.
So wait, just a question. I mean, like I didn't see the movie, but in the movie, is like wrestling supposed to be
Yes.
real?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
very
yes.
real.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
very.
Like they have like Wrestle City where it's like a fictional, it's basically a giant arena, and like the way they describe it is just like what children think wrestling actually is, and the amount of bullshit just it rains from the sky like a brown thundercloud.
Oh my
And
god,
it
where do
comes
I
up to your waist. Like,
fucking begin?
one example, the what's the belt, right?
Yeah.
See, even as a kid, I was like, that looks like a piece of shit. It's very obviously plastic. I
mhm.
thought wrestling was real as a kid as well, you know, naturally. But even then, I thought it was fake. With the belt. And in the movie, like they try and like make it like diamond encrusted and all this shit. Like it was like the Queen's crown jewels.
Right.
And I think there is a distinction between like it is a cartoon, so obviously you can like, you know, roll the wheel of bullshit a little bit. But
Yeah.
the way that it's played is more like propaganda
Plot device.
for WWE. Like it's an advertisement.
To be
It's
fair,
A story. The story is shite. It's just like John Cena comes to the screen and he does something ridiculous like there's a giant boulder and he moves it, like picks it up and moves it away.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Kane
Yeah,
walks
just randomly
around.
comes in out of nowhere.
Kane's
Just
like the coolest
fucking
person ever.
appears and just stops.
And it's literally just like, you know, sucking at the teat of WWE and like, you know, doing the reach
Jack,
around.
let me
everything.
rephrase that. This entire film is nothing but a fucking blowjob for WWE. Nothing more, nothing else.
That is,
Fucking
that is
thank you.
I'm gonna throw the floor. Go on, George.
Okay, there is so much wrong with this movie. It's actually kind of mind-blowing. I want to bring up probably the biggest pile of bullshit I have ever heard in my life. Okay, so there's a point in the movie where Scooby and Shaggy are framed for stealing the belt. And they are threatened to go to the belt. And they are threatened to go to jail. But the mayor of WWE City claims that the only way they can prove themselves not guilty is by wrestling. And this is not just for them. If you do anything illegal in this city, all you have to do to get off scot-free is just be in a wrestling match.
I find that hilarious. Actually, that makes a good point because here's a plot hole. So at the end of the film, the villain is revealed, which we'll get to later with the plot, and he gets taken away by police.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he get the chance to wrestle?
Exactly. You introduce bullshit and
Anyone
then
else-
don't even
anyone
use the
else do
bullshit.
that? Hey David, did you think of that?
On top over there? There's some dog pills there.
David?
Get that smug grin off your face and start talking, you David motherfucker.
Alright, I was waiting for Ryoga to. But yeah, in general, I mean, yeah, there's plot holes. Yes, it's a massive blowjob for WWE. Was anyone expecting anything less going in? Well, at the end of the day, precisely. So long as you went in with the expectation, knowing what you were going to get, you got an enjoyable run. It's ridiculous. It was over the top. The plot didn't make any sense. All in all, it was a perfect wrestling storyline.
It wasn't interesting. Oh my god! Like who the bad guy is, you can pretty much tell within about 25 minutes of the movie.
It's
And then
it's Scooby-Doo though. It's always the old guy. Well, not necessarily the old guy.
it was the uncle.
It's always the janitor or the uncle or the. They have the old guy there as your red herring. It's classic Scooby-Doo formula mixed in with wrestling, and all in all, it's stupid as all hells. But I laugh my ass off.
Don't you think actually that Scooby-Doo is overrated as a whole. Like, I enjoy the characters, and sometimes it's funny, but it's always the same formula where they think the ghost is real, and every time, discounting direct-to-DVD movies and the film, that it's a fake. Like, it's
And
somebody in
Mr.
the past.
Incorporated.
Like, it's bizarre. Like, they're so open-minded, but every time it's not real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's just the nature of episodic television, though. I mean, let's face it.
well, it's not quite the same. It's not quite the same because, like, with House, right? That's very episodic. They'll always go through the same steps to get some of the problem, right? But
And it's always brain lesions causing a physical illness.
But they do
Always.
learn. They do learn. While with Scooby-Doo, they never learn. It's as if like their memory was wiped after each episode. Like they never turn around and say like, "Oh, it's probably an old man who's doing it."
Like something that Mystery Incorporated did much better than this.
They do try to trap the ghost or goblin every time, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Ghost Rider,
Yeah.
Ghost
They-
Rider.
they know that, like,
Yeah.
there's
It's
still
not
a danger
meaningful,
because it is like a crazy guy dressed up in a costume, and then they're trying to stop him. Like, I don't know if they do they think that it's real every time? Pretty stupid.
I don't necessarily think they do. I think it's more just a case of it's about the overreactions. The others are in it for the mystery. Scooby and Shaggy are sort of there to provide the weed and get scared and paranoid.
Right.
So it's it's just it's the nature of episodic television, particularly from the '60s, and that's what Scooby-Doo is always going to be. It's always going to be mired by its '60s heritage. There's nothing we can do for that. You either get on board for the ride, or you do something new, like they did with the excellent Mystery Incorporated. But as this is, I believe, it's meant to be mainline Scooby-Doo. It's just the same stuff we've seen before. It's just a matter of how to present it. I mean, I don't really watch enough Scooby-Doo anymore for the nostalgia or the what's the word I'm looking for? But I don't watch enough for it to really wear off on me. So maybe that's just why I enjoyed it more.
Yeah, I mean, like going back to what you said. So you said like, what do you expect? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I see what you mean. Like, I think the worst thing is to be lied to. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like my roommate. I said Groundhog Day is a really good film, and he watched it and he thought it was utter shite. I think that's quite bad. But still, if you know it's shit anyway, I think you watching it isn't going to change. Isn't going to make it any better just because you already knew it was shit going in.
Yeah.
Maybe it works itself out better in like therapy sessions.
Well, it doesn't make it good. But here's the thing. To be enjoyable, something doesn't have to be good. You can watch some utter shit and still enjoy it. And for me, that's what a lot of this case was. And I'll admit that the film is shit. The animation quality is piss poor. The character designs are crap. The voice acting is terrible at best. But I still enjoyed the hell out of it.
Actually, getting to the voice acting.
They're actionless.
It was. Don't you think? So I think Fred Weller. Is it called Fred Weller? He voices. Frank Weller. Yeah, he voices Fred, and as of 2002, I believe, he voices Scooby.
Oh, Frank Walker.
Yeah. Don't you think his Scooby voice is awful?
Yes, but let's be honest. Who can do a good Scooby voice anymore?
Anybody. But
Yeah.
As equal. Okay. Not anyone can do a good Scooby voice, but I don't think. Like he's just so average. Like it's very obvious it's someone impersonating Scooby-Doo rather than actually sound like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
And like if you're gonna let him do that, I'll do what he's doing for half the price. Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
Scooby-Doo.
that was pretty good, actually.
Try reading a line from Shakespeare while speaking Scooby-Doo. Then maybe you can pull it.
Ruby, I'm not Ruby.
Like anyone can fucking do it. Like to his standard. Fucking hell! Get Tom Kenny in to do Scooby-Doo.
Nah, I don't doubt it. But in the show's defense, I believe Welker has been voicing Scooby-Doo from the very beginning.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't. Who voiced Scooby-Doo?
2000. I don't know, but I did read that he's voiced Scooby-Doo since about 2002, I think, or was it 2012? 2002?
I think he started when they started What's New Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I mean, with Fred, he's absolutely perfect as Fred. Like, he sounds so good as Fred. But as Scooby, speaks for itself.
Oh shit.
You know. I do actually quite like, because you know, I can't remember his name, but he played Shaggy in the
Oh, it's Don
live-action
Messick.
movies.
Wait, my mistake. So Don Messick did play Scooby-Doo originally.
Who?
Don Messick.
Don Messick, yeah.
Matthew Lillard from the movies played Shaggy.
Yeah. I really like his Shaggy voice. I think it's good and it's a little bit different, but still good. Because like you can easily find someone who can like perfectly like impersonate someone, but you need like a professional to actually, you know. I guess that's why they got Frank Welker to do Scooby, because he's a professional. I still think his voice is awful though. But anyway, let's talk about the wrestlers in this film. So, this film mostly focuses on John Cena. I assume, Ryger, it's because he's like the biggest star and they want to...
He's the poster boy of WWE. I don't need to say anymore.
Is the ultimate
Okay,
face.
considering I'm perhaps the only guy here who at least has some knowledge of WWE as a whole, let me
knowledge of everything.
John Cena is the current world champion, not just a world champion of the WWE, but he's also the very face of the WWE. When he first came out about 10 or so years ago, everybody didn't like him very much, but
yeah, he was supposed to be like a gangster. It was ridiculous.
he started off this guy with a gangster rap, and then all of a sudden he becomes this Marine guy, and then he became so popular with the younger crowd.
I remember that.
In time, he's basically reached the same level of recognition to today's audiences as Hulk Hogan back in the 80s. So at the moment he is the face of WWE, but at the very same time, it's because of John Cena's recognition that many of the other wrestlers who are trying to make it to the WWE get shut out, such as Daniel Bryan being one of the examples. A lot of people want Daniel Bryan to be the new face of the WWE for the new generation, because we're already in the 2010s. But the creative staff, and in particular the
writers,
Vince McMahon, still wants to have Cena as the top dog. So it's because of this that there's a lot of tension going on behind the scenes. But as long as the end result is that the kids, who are basically the target audience for the WWE now, as opposed to the Attitude Era back in the 90s, as long as these kids who are in strong numbers get to watch John Cena in action, it doesn't really matter what the WWE does.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what he does in Scooby-Doo either, you know. Like, his strength rivals Superman.
Yeah. He is.
within
he transports out of nowhere and just saves them from the boulder that just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Within the WWE, I would say that like John Cena kind of is their Superman. Like, he's the Boy Scout and he like fights for truth, justice, and the American way. And
When you think about it, if you go back to the 80s, Hogan was the head of the WWE. He has the exact same thing as John Cena. Truth, justice, American way. He has these superpowers. When he gets a second win, it's like he's invincible. All of that. John Cena's basically the Hulk Hogan of the modern world. It's not like in the 90s wherein you can actually cheer for the bad guy because he's a badass, like Steve Austin.
yeah.
True. That's very true.
Isn't Kane a bad guy? Because that's the impression I got from Scooby-Doo.
Yes. In the wrestling terms, there are if anybody who's considered a good guy, you call them a babyface, and anyone's considered to be a bad guy, you call them as a heel. So Kane in both the film, a heel.
A heel.
Because they do a heel turn from good to bad.
Right.
Yeah.
So Kane, both in the ring and in the films, he did had a live action film starring himself by WWE. He does play as a heel character. So
Usually, yeah.
usually,
He
I
was
mean,
good.
there have been times
Logan,
where
did you say you knew a little bit about WWE?
because I was a fan of WWE. I started watching it as a kid during the Hulkamania year, and then all the way up to the Attitude Era, which we've discussed.
Sorry, guys. Just my internet was being kind of weird there. Could you just repeat that?
As I was saying, I was a fan of WWE since the Hulkamania years, and all the way up to the Attitude Era, and come the time when the WWF became the WWE, and John Cena became the head of WWE. That's when I stopped watching pro wrestling for good until January, when I was introduced to New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is a Japanese promotion, and that got me back to pro wrestling.
All right. Okay. Just to get a little bit back on topic, to Scooby-Doo Wrestlemania Mystery. every time I just think of just the concept is ridiculous.
I mean, Jack, if you really think about it, this isn't the first time the Scooby-Doo franchise has been doing crossovers with celebrities. It has face it, John Cena right now is a celebrity, and I do remember.
You guys ever see the Scooby-Doo and Batman and Robin thing?
I've seen that.
Yeah, fucking Christ.
Well,
So
to be fair,
It was common at that time. He even had the one with the Three Stooges. Moral
Wait. There was a Scooby-Doo crossover with the Three Stooges.
Yeah,
Yes.
trust me.
Specifically, the animated Three Stooges, since I believe at that time the original Three Stooges has already died. So just doing the animated versions instead.
In this Scooby-Doo movie, because I haven't seen wrestling for about 12 years, to be honest. I had trouble recognizing them. I did recognize Triple H and
Right.
John Cena a little bit,
Right.
but there was no Undertaker and there was no that big fat guy. I can't remember what he's called.
Big Show.
Big Show, yeah. Like, is there a reason for that?
I believe it's because during production, the Undertaker has actually semi-retired from wrestling, so he's more of if he's not wrestling, he's just doing bookings. And Paul White, the real name for the Big Show, is actually also doing other promotions while still in contract with WWE. So we don't see those. So instead,
What do you mean promotions and bookings? Do they go to birthday parties?
Yeah.
Promotional events.
No.
What?
But
Dude,
Paul White has been doing some acting in other shows. I believe at one time he did appear in 2.5 Men. I'm not sure, but either that or any show that had Charlie Sheen in it, the Big Show was there.
This is just a big spiral of retardation. We've gone from Scooby-Doo all the way down to the Big Show and Charlie Sheen.
It gets worse. Trust me. Just Google it.
Alright. Let's get back to the movie. I can't believe how much we've talked about fucking wrestling. More than I want to ever again. Criticisms. Let's do that. So I'll do one, and then we'll go around. So they kind of set up this thing like, so the bad guy, it turns out to be this uncle, and his nephew really wants to be a wrestler. I don't know if they were setting that up for real life. It looked like bullshit, but whatever. So it's like, the impression I got was that his uncle used to be a wrestler and then he hurt his leg, right? And then he doesn't want his nephew to have that same kind of danger. So I thought that gesture was kind of noble. It was a noble cause to be a villain. But at the end, he just turns out to be a massive twat. And there isn't any, like, understanding, like, I was doing this for you, my nephew. It was just like, I wouldn't have gotten away with it if it wasn't for John Cena. So I thought it missed an emotional opportunity there, which would have been extremely easy to write in. There's no extra effort, no extra animation, really. It's just bad writing. Go on then,
This whole
David.
movie is bad writing. This is the prime example of bad writing.
I mean, if there's one thing, all you need to do is just see WWE films, and already you start avoiding like the plague.
I relate to that feeling. Trust me, I relate to that feeling.
I mean, seriously. As part of this big way of this web going mainstream, WWE does have its own movie studio, and they produce their own Hollywood films, but it will feature their roster as among the characters, which is it's very very hard to swallow as is. I believe there was a recent WWE movie that starred Halle Berry as a crime unit, and it featured one of the I forgot what his name is, but he was a serial killer.
Oh, the call.
And then, yeah. It's that bad. This is how they're trying. They're trying to stray away from that. It's just wrestlers doing bad films because they're trying to emulate what The Rock did. Because The Rock right now is the most successful of all the wrestlers. Because he did strayed away from wrestling and into acting, and following
the Tooth Fairy, the Plan, all those great movies.
The Rundown. The Rundown.
And then we have, now they're releasing another one, Dave Bautista, who after his stint in as Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's now given a bunch of roles, and then he's proud of it. So they're trying to do the same thing, not just in live action but animation as well. So this is their attempt to get inside it because kids are gonna see John Cena doing action, but as history points out, with their studios, they're just plain bad. And this is just one of those instances. Even though it's a Scooby-Doo episode, which pretty much, like any other Scooby-Doo episode, it's still bad. I mean, I've seen Scooby-Doo episodes from this. It's the exact same story.
Do you want to hear some trivia? Me and my roommate, we've been watching all the Leprechaun films this week. Do the Leprechaun films of Warwick
Seriously?
Davis? Yeah, so Leprechaun
yeah.
1, 2, 3, Leprechaun in Space, Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun Back
Leprechaun
to
in the Hood, 1, 2.
But guess, there's a reboot now called Leprechaun Origins.
Oh yeah, Leprechaun.
Guess which production company? Guess which production?
WWE.
WWE. What the fuck? They just piss their money on any shit, don't they? Leprechaun Origins, done. Scooby-Doo, WrestleMania, oh, get that sweet, sweet moolah. Shit.
Here's the thing for me. My biggest criticism of it, as I say, it's enjoyable. We know it's bad, but it's enjoyable. But my god, the animation. For the money WWE has to spunk away on projects like this. They could have done something with the fucking animation. I mean, it looks sub 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, like, the art isn't necessarily...
Alright, a mustache.
the art isn't necessarily bad.
What are you killing me? Jack, I decided to look up that new Leprechaun movie for WWE Studios, and they did, and the main character of the Leprechaun is one of their wrestlers, Hornswoggle.
But one of the charms, I mean, it's a bit off topic, but one of the charms of the Leprechaun was Warwick Davis as the Leprechaun was just fucking hilarious. Like, the lines, there was like a line where like he inflated some woman's ass and it was massive. It's like, if you look at your butt, I'll give you a nut or something ridiculous. And then they have this like really boring like book standard like kind of thing going on. And it's the same with Scooby-Doo. It's just so standard and generic. It's just, shat out.
Yeah.
Even the ending, was like, okay, so it's Scooby-Doo, and everybody knows what Scooby-Doo likes to say at the end of things. We can't think of any more original ideas for this. We're fresh out. Let's just make him go, Scooby-Doo. And that'll be the end. You know what? If they should have gone the whole hog and ended it so John Cena arm in arm with the Scooby-Doo gang, and then he does it as well with everybody else, because that would have been shit, but that would have made more sense.
Ugh.
God.
Fucking hell, the rage. We've barely even talked about this because there's nothing to talk about, really, is it?
Yeah.
It's just
No,
shit.
It's just asinine, just garbage. I mean,
David, picking up on your point, you said the plot was interesting.
Well, I didn't say the plot was interesting. I said the plot was kind of what you'd expect. I mean, at the end of the day...
No, you definitely said, mate. You definitely said, mate, it was interesting.
No, he said wrestling, not interesting.
Yeah, I said wrestling. It's a wrestling romp.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just an enjoyable wrestling romp. I mean, the plot's not really interesting. It's by the motions. It's Scooby-Doo and a bit extra thrown in. As I say, the big thing is, it felt like just a standard WWE story, which is basically Emmerdale, but with better acting.
Yes. I mean, here, if I was working on a WWE film, doing this crossover, I'd hire the people of Metalocalypse to do this, because I don't know if you guys ever saw Metalocalypse on Adult Swim, but they had this fictional tale of this heavy metal band being 1,000 times greater than the Beatles, and that they're even the ones who can save the Earth by just their music. It's ridiculous, it's stupid, but it's a lot of fun. I would hire those writers to do a WWE film to make it stupid, ridiculous, and then fun, but this film has none of it. Seriously.
It's not fun.
Which is why...
it's just
Yeah.
fucking...
I mean, like, it is subjective. I mean, I did, because there is something about being enraged, like, purposely watching a bad movie, because it's almost therapeutic, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's relatively victimless. Like, you're allowed to scream and shout and insult,
Yeah.
you know, and let it all out.
At least it's not Space Thunder Kids.
Yeah.
I wouldn't last 5 minutes watching it. Trash.
Yeah, mate, I did read about that because I did consider us to watch it, and I don't, because it's bad, not in the kind of way like that's digestible bad. Like this movie has like a start, middle, and end, and a plot.
Mm-hmm.
But that Thunderchild, whatever movie, I've read it. It's just a collection of clips together in an hour. We don't want to watch that. That's not a movie.
Yeah.
That's why it's surprisingly bad and in the public domain.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
We should probably finish up on WrestleMania. I mean, there's not really much more to talk about as such. So we'll go around. We'll go around. Final thoughts, George.
Just fuck. That's it.
Would you recommend people watching it?
I would recommend you just grabbing it and throwing it into a dumpster and just set it on fire. That's my recommendation.
Yep. Proto, my boy.
This story would have worked if we had the one of the characters actually being a fighter, a really badass. Like, because in their last film Legend of the Terrestrials, I think they really made Scooby-Doo Shaggy a badass. I really would have dig this movie if at least one of the Scooby Gang knew how to fight, but it didn't happen. But so final score, 1 out of 10. Fuck this movie.
1 out of 10. Okay, David. I know you liked it a little bit more.
Yeah, basically, if you've got kids that like Scooby-Doo and wrestling, it's worth a watch. Just don't pay for it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
F off.
I'm just glad I watched this online and didn't pay money for it.
Same.
Okay, Rygo, what's your
I mean,
personal recommendation?
Deep down, it's just a Scooby-Doo episode. So if you happen to be a 5-year-old, you're going to enjoy it. But if you're an adult watching it, avoid it. And if you're a fan of wrestling, avoid it. If you really want to get into wrestling, avoid WWE. Go New Japan Pro Wrestling. I guarantee you will not be disappointed.
What the fuck am I looking at?
Who wants my personal recommendation?
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Jack, it's a bit of an off-topic. The Undertaker will be in the next will be in the Flintstones WrestleMania crossover.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
It's gonna do its
I
tombstone.
want to say something, guys. Real quick, something. I went to my Facebook to check out my news feed. This is the first thing I saw. This is the first thing that came up.
Let's have a look.
That is the first thing I saw.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, I know some people that are actually into BDSM, and they're really fucked off because the film doesn't portray it as it is.
Yeah.
No, the film takes a really irresponsible portrayal of it, and it doesn't truly show. I mean, the part of BDSM is the sub has all the control. Really, the dom's just kind of there, but that's a topic for another time. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do it when we have to talk about animation. So Jack, finish this shit up.
I think we should.
Oh yeah, Proto! I blame you for choosing this piece of crap.
So do I. In fact, I blame you for challenging me to watch this piece of crap and Annie.
Okay, Carson.
I think that one day, when eventually, I assume we'll have a Master Toons meetup. The movie we watch is 50 Shades of Grey.
Count me out that day. Count me out. I'm out. I won't watch that shit. My son just killed it. My cousins killed it for me. I'm not watching that. Fuck this. I'm out.
You know what? Let's bring that in just to torture the bastard.
His mom died during.
All right.
Perfect. Let's wrap this up. Jack, your final thoughts?
So I actually interestingly watched the trailer before watching this film, and I laughed my fucking head off. I watched a clip as well. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's awful in nearly every conceivable way. Like, the writing is bad, but not quite bad enough to be, like The Room enjoyable or something like that. The animation,
Oh my gosh.
while like uninspired and not good, it's not bad enough to make you laugh again, like the old Sonic cartoons or something.
Yeah.
The plot is as generic and cookie cut from Scooby-Doo as you could possibly imagine. I think you have to be pretty stupid not to work out who the bad guy is.
Yeah.
And the wrestling is just awful. Like, I really people should know that wrestling's not real. You should admire it for the right reasons. Like, the athletes work quite hard. It's not It's not easy what they do, but it's just like, why pretend it's anything else than just light entertainment,
Right.
I believe there was well, I don't want to go off topic, but there was an article about that, and they do explain why is it that people who know that wrestling is fake still watch it, and it's from PBS. They did an article on that, and they actually compared that to how is it that everybody knows Santa Claus except the kids Santa Claus is fake, but everybody still take it anyway. So there's a parallel.
You can say that about any entertainment. Like, I know Iron Man isn't real, but I still go see his movies.
Well, yeah. But I mean, like,
It's a movie.
It's not trying to trick you into thinking that it's real.
Right.
It's what
I mean, for the most part, like, excuse me, I'm eating.
For the most part, Iron Man is real.
No, but for the most part, like, WWE embraces the fact that it's fixed. So to have it be portrayed as real in this movie is kind of strange.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
really, it tries so hard to appeal to kids that it just becomes this utter fast food of a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a well. I don't want to push it further because again, it's going to be additional commentary. So what I'm going to do here is I'm probably going to do an extra commentary on my solo podcast about this, so that you and the audience can check it out. Probably a little later this week.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah.
I would say if you're a kid and you like wrestling and Scooby-Doo, watch them as individuals.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If you like wrestling, actually, even if you don't like wrestling, there's a really funny video online where like this guy has like a snake glove on his hand, and then there's two wrestlers.
Marella.
There's two wrestlers with flutes,
Fucking Marella.
and they charm his hand. It was like,
Yeah, and he hits himself in the face.
yeah. Makes it
Yeah.
himself in the face.
What does WWE come to, like Santino Marella? Land his hand.
That's fucking funny though. I love that.
Yeah, he was like, so he was going at the guy, and then the guy starts charming it, and he's like, oh my god, and then hits himself in the face, and he's like dead.
By the way,
he hold the record for like the least time in the Royal Rumble ring.
Yeah.
He got thrown out after 2 seconds by Kane.
Yeah, no, right as he got in, it was boom, and then Kane holds the quickest throw out, and he owns the world record for least time in the ring.
Anyhow.
Anywho, when we used
another
It's a bit of a
another
tangent.
aside, another tangent. I'm sorry. Like I watched a YouTube video and it was them what they say like really quietly that you can't quite hear. You have to like really turn it up, and it's stuff like kick me in the chest, do the slam thing, and then when they fuck up like one of them's like there's like a girl and she gets like dragged off the ladder and she hits the ground outside of the ring. And like you can hear the other wrestler going, "Oh shit, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." It really makes sense. How do I turn off this hat and shit? By the way,
I'm not sure.
You just really click the fact.
it was funny for about 5.
Press the X.
X.
Press the X on Google FX.
Oh, I was clicking
On
the
a little
fucking draw.
sidebar.
I was clicking draw.
There you go.
No, what the fuck is this?
You've clicked draw.
It's like a fucking cat. Oh shit.
Either that or you're a target for the predator.
Oh man.
So I think next week we have a choice. We can either watch Hoodwinked as previously discussed,
Ooh.
or we can buy this new George Lucas film.
Oh.
I think I'd rather do Hoodwinked.
Hoodwinked
You wanna
was
do
alright.
Hoodwinked?
If we do this,
At least Hoodwink is tolerable.
Have you
if we
seen
do the
Scooby-Doo?
ladder,
I've seen
when
it a
we're
lot
gonna do
of
this
times.
live. We're gonna comment about this piece of shit together. No one gets out of here without any support.
Screw you, Proto.
That's actually
But yeah,
that's actually something we could do. Sorry to interrupt. We, in theory, no, I don't know actually. I was thinking like we could like live watch the film together, but I don't know how we'd do that actually.
a live comment.
We'd all have to
Actually,
like
no.
press play at the same time.
Yeah.
It'd be easy enough.
Well, actually, what if one of us could screen share and then we can comment over it?
It'd be
Yeah.
really laggy.
Okay.
The issue with that would be then we're broadcasting copyright content.
Yeah.
That is true.
Let's just go with fucking Hoodwinked. I mean, at least I could watch that without wanting to kill myself.
Although, what we could possibly do at some point is maybe, say, run it as a Riff Tracks, or run a Riff Tracks version where, say, people can have our video on in the background while watching the movie themselves.
Right.
Right.
Or you could probably go
We
with
call it-
the thing. That's how the Let's Players who do Let's Play videos protect themselves from copyright infringement.
We can
Okay.
call it Raft Tracks.
Yeah. The Let's
Master
Players
Transition.
the Let's Players argue transformative work because without their input, the game doesn't actually function. With a movie, it plays
Wrap up, and
regardless.
then,
Right.
why don't we wrap up, stop the broadcast, and then we can figure stuff out afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's just wrap up. This has been Yusuf.
Oh, shut up!
I said you could do it. I stopped midway and said you had to do it.
You shut
Wow,
up.
Shut up,
Mouth,
you
old
Well, at least
man.
I live near a bus stop.
Oh, shut up, you two.
I live
Shut
near
up,
a bus
you.
stop.
Well, I guess we have something in common then. So I guess we should both be hosts.
I live opposite a petrol station, and every time I want to fuel up, just do a
I
little cross the road.
wonder if it's the same bus stop.
Yeah, okay, let's stop this shit. Let's stop this shit.
Yeah.
Let's stop this fucking show. Alright. So, that was what we thought about Scooby-Doo.
WrestleMania fucking mystery. Fuck.
Hopefully
That's
one day in
what
the
it's called.
future, we'll do the Flintstones WrestleMania.
March. Fucking March.
Yay!
That's going to be quite interesting because there isn't even like a mystery in that. It's just going to be, hey Barney!
What? Stone.
Get out my pebbles! That impression was awful.
Yeah, it really
You
was.
guys want to know it comes out in March.
If Flintstones WrestleMania doesn't include Anarchy in Bedrock on the soundtrack, something's gone horribly wrong.
Okay. Right. Enough shit. This has been the Master Toons podcast with me, your host, Jack.
Ryoga.
Proto.
George.
David, taking the cake.
Mercedes.
It sounds like Voltron. We all say our names. Combined to form Super Action Warrior. I don't know what shit.
Really.
Fancy being
good
crotch
old
bum.
Yeah.
Alright.
See you all next week. Fucking next week.
See you next week where we'll be talking about more news.
Okay.
And we'll be talking about Hoodwinked.
Which I've never seen, so this will be interesting.
Guys, is it Hoodwink 1 or Hoodwink 2?
This is
One.
One. Thank fuck.
Hi,
Okay,
Jack.
We could do the
Hoodwink
sequel. We could do the sequel next month.
It didn't come out in January.
We never did Flintstone, not Scooby-Doo.
True.
You guys always end it.
Yeah, we're horrible.
End it. Carson, end it, and then we can keep talking.
Alright, subscribe, like, share, do all that shit.
Yeah, bitch.
Watch our pretty faces.
Don't forget to comment and tell us how horribly wrong we are.
And,
We're open for discussion.
How beautiful we are.
bye-bye.
See you later, Alan.